Good morning. This is Joe over here at CloudApp. Excited to chat with everyone today about the state of productivity infographic that we put out. Here it is right here. You can find it on our website, getcloudapp.com. We did some unique research, surveyed about 1,000 people to really find out what people were spending their time on at the office. Really focused on kind of the time wasters. And we found kind of some interesting things about what people thought was kind of being a waste of their time and thought that would be fun to talk about here on a Friday. 1 and 2 office workers, age 18 to 60, listed social media as their biggest time waster. A little ironic, obviously, because I'm, broadcasting this through podcasts and LinkedIn and other social channels. But that can be something that quickly derails any productivity that you have with the project you're working on. We kind of live in a very distracted world where we have lots of notifications, unlimited content to consume, social media channels that we can peruse and kind of shut off our brain for a little bit. And that takes a while to kind of get back in the pace of things. It can take a good 30 to 60 minutes sometimes if you get distracted and kind of move off of a project to get back going. So kind of knowing what these people are saying they're spending their time on can help you to know how to improve on that. One thing I thought was interesting, that if you look at kind of the up and coming generations of Gen Z, which is anywhere from 18 to 25, so kind of just entering the workforce if they're just graduating college or have kind of going straight from high school to the workforce. 1 in 5 of them are spending 10 plus hours of their work week watching YouTube, TikTok, and other social related video. So that kind of shows what growth is happening within social, within Gen Z, and also could be related a little bit to wanting to have a little bit more of that flexibility. We've seen it trend with remote work and the growth there, and how things have kind of moved towards people having more flexible days, flexible time at the office, and less of a 9 to 5, more of a get my work done and have balance in my life. The other thing is, and I kind of felt this more at a big company, but 40% of all office workers listed that they were in 2+ hours of meetings a day. So obviously meetings can definitely be productive, but sometimes they can take away from that actual work that kind of drives the business. There are a lot of times when I was at a much larger company that I would go to meetings and I'd end up having to do my day-to-day work at home, or I'd get behind and put a lot more stress on kind of working and having that flexibility at work. So definitely be mindful of meetings and how many you're scheduling. Kind of near my time at Adobe, I really loved doing 15-minute stand-up meetings with my teams, and cutting down 60-minute meetings into 45. It's amazing how, if you come in with a clear agenda, you establish kind of rules of engagement for meetings, and kind of everyone knows what to expect. And then you kind of roll through the meeting, you keep people on task, and then you have kind of clear takeaways, how much more they can be effective and how much less time you're spending your time in meetings. The other one that I wanted to talk about was from the State of Collaboration report that we released in October. And it's kind of tied in with this, in that 60% of office workers prefer to collaborate visually. So finding ways to bring visuals in, whether it be through PowerPoint or sending screenshots, GIFs, or videos that you produce with CloudApp, or just kind of connecting more of that remote workforce and adding collaboration and reducing the amount of time you have to spend on writing out long emails can be really effective saving time. As we move towards kind of 2020, it's interesting to kind of evaluate where you're spending your own time. In kind of episode 1 of this podcast, the DNA of an Experience, that we run here at CloudApp, I interviewed Nir Eyal, who wrote a book called Indistractable. And there's a really cool technique that he kind of brought up, and it was about time blocking. So it's about kind of really owning your calendar and blocking out times when you're working on certain projects. You can have, your longer term projects that you spend time on, your shorter term ones. You can, block out time for your one-on-ones with your team. And he actually even went as far as blocking out time with his family. So like he would have blocked out time for one-on-ones with his children and date night with his wife, and how that really helped him, gain control and set his phone aside and really have that balance that he was looking for in his life. So the biggest kind of time wasters from this infographic that you can find on getcloudapp.com were social, chatty coworkers, which can kind of be maybe a piece of like these open offices that everyone's moved to. Social video for Gen Z specifically, and meetings. Also found something interesting about baby boomers. They're 2 times more likely to say social media or the internet is their biggest time waster. So interesting that it kind of spans all generations. And then one other that was kind of interesting, there's a bunch of stats in here, but 40% of Gen Z list slow Wi-Fi or computers or technology as their kind of an inhibitor. So we rely on a lot of different productivity and collaboration apps, Salesforce and Google and analytics and lots of other things. And so if those tools go down, like Slack goes down, and it really puts an inhibitor on your ability to get work done. So finding ways that you can kind of really remove those distractions, create opportunities to be really productive when you are kind of working, and finding the tool set that really fits your needs, so that when you are, being productive at work, which no one can be 100% productive all the time, that you're really maximizing that time. So hopefully this infographic is helpful, and it kind of shows you what trends are happening generationally and currently in the office. Definitely take a look and visit, the infographic getcloudapp.com on our blog, and you will be able to kind of see more unique research that we're putting out in the near future. Hope everyone has a good Friday, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you.